We'll get started. Kelly Eco.
Hey, Coach, just how hard is it to kind of stop the snowball effect in games? You know, if you guys miss two threes, the other team hits two threes, and then suddenly a 5-point deficit is now 11. How hard has that been to kind of stop the snowball effect?
It's been very hard to kind of stave off the momentum of missed shots versus made shots. Obviously, we've been going through quite a shooting slump, as you saw in the third quarter, where we had multiple wide open looks and they didn't fall. And then you go down the other end and the other team is making. And as much as you want to say that you want to have a consistent defense every game and you want to play the same level of defense and play hard and all of those things, sometimes your defense can be very much connected to your offense. And if you're continually missing shots, it definitely is a deflating thing. So we are continually shooting shots. We're continually being attentive to our spacing and our drive and kick game. I thought our drive and kick game last night was actually pretty good. And we created a bunch of good looks that we made, I think, 16 threes maybe last night, but had a bunch more opportunities. So to answer your question, it is frustrating to kind of go through those stretches that we are continuing to go through, but we are going to stay positive and know that if we continue to really just concentrate on the process and doing things the right way and working hard through the adversity, then the results will come. But if we continue to be, or if we start to be or continue to be, I don't know if it's either or, just worried about wins and the win or the loss, then it could be really, really hard.
Kaylee Griffin.
Hey, Coach. Yesterday at Shoot Around, Eric talked about the importance of rebounding for this team, obviously to help dictate the pace, have more opportunities. The team was out-rebounded by 22 in Cleveland and then 11 last night, without obviously stating the obvious that this team is a lot smaller than most teams that they're coming up. What are some of the ways that this group can attack the glass a little bit better?
Yeah, so we watched film today on that. There was a possession. I believe there was 2:45 left in the game. They had the ball. They were up 6. A stop would have given us the ball in a 2-possession game with over 2 minutes to go. They drive it baseline, kick it to Boucher in the corner. Boucher shoots it, and they grab the offensive rebound, kick it out. I think Van Vliet ends up with a 3. So there's a few parts to it. There is the willingness to go get the ball. Victor on that play went to go get the ball and looked like he got knocked off the play, but also the schematic part where in that situation, everybody has to be coming back to the glass and go for the basketball. The ball is the most important thing. We shouldn't be leaking out in those situations. Then there's the physicality part of it. There's, as the offensive rebounder is coming in, instead of turning to the rim and watch the ball, hit first, be physical, and then go get the basketball. And that's something that we will have to continue to do as we are small, and our advantage is our speed and our activity, but we have to use that speed and activity to initiate physicality and make physical plays, and that'll help our rebounding.
Jonathan Fagan.
You mentioned last night that the issues defensively were more from mistakes that were made rather than effort and energy. Are the things you guys are doing defensively, schemes and coverages, very different than they were 10 games ago? Or what would lead to those kinds of mistakes at this point?
Yeah, I mean, we're doing a lot more switching than we were when Christian was in. If Christian's playing 30 some odd minutes and Cuz is playing the rest, we don't have as many like small ball five-man switching situations. So yeah, it's a little bit different, but it's something that we have done and we have been comfortable with. The issues come when there is a lack of communication at times, and then there's a lack of protection behind whatever the action is. So if there's a dribble handoff and they're able to just turn the corner and lay the ball in, that is the coverage where we are supposed to switch and contain the basketball, but also the help and the support of whatever is going on. So making sure that we are clean on our coverages, but also attentive in our help, because it's the NBA. They're going to do things that will kind of buckle your defense, and that next line, that next effort, that next rotation has to be there, and we have to be in position for that to happen. So that's kind of a synopsis of what our defense should look like, as opposed to some of the mistakes that we made last night, which we again went over in a lengthy film session today.
Thank you.
Brian Bearfield.
Coach, now that you've gotten some sort of feel for this, the first half of this season with this expedited schedule that the NBA has put together, have you sat down with your medical staff and with your coaches to talk about the plan going forward with playing John and Victor in back-to-backs in the second half of the season?
No, we haven't addressed that yet. Obviously, the schedule just came out, and with 10 back-to-backs, it's going to be hard for those guys to play all 10 back-to-backs. I don't think that is going to happen, but hopefully they'll be able to play some of them at some level. I don't know what it'll look like right now, but John got his ankle landed on last night. Vic's coming back from his foot injury, and we just got to make sure that we're really, really smart about the back-to-backs in the second half. It hasn't been great in the first half, not having one of those guys on the basketball side, but the long-term prognosis, the health part of it has to be first and foremost. And, we have to figure the basketball part out around that. But as far as the second half of the season, we'll tackle that during the All-Star break.
Terrence Harris.
Hey, Coach, how's it going?
All right, how are you?
All right. Hey, can you speak to just kind of the urgency, you guys are feeling right now to maybe try to get this thing turned around, as guys, with the concern obviously being, guys' confidence at this point, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's definitely a level of urgency. We're on a long losing streak, so we're feeling it, and there's pressure that's applied in that to everybody, but players don't play well when the pressure is heightened, when it's like do or die. I would say most players, in that case, when there's just so much pressure that you put on yourself to perform, to make shots, to make the right play, to do all of those things. Players play their best when they're free at some level. So trying to balance that urgency that you speak of with the ability to play free and to play to your strengths without constraints is very important for us as a group. So it's my job to highlight the positive, to show the negative, to fix the negative, and try to keep as hard as it can be in this situation, an even keel, because in the NBA, as long as the season is, if your emotions are going up and down and up and down, and when we were on our 6-game winning streak, you're through the roof, and now we're on a losing streak and you're down in the dumps. It can't be that way. It has to be a consistent message for the players on a daily basis, and a consistent message to me is the best way to kind of help them through the pressure and all of the things that they're feeling as far as like grinding to win a game.
Kelly Eco.
Hey, Coach, offensively at least, if you were to give yourself a percentage, how do you find the balance between, the random offense that you talk about and structured, and how have you seen that play out during, this streak?
Yeah, well, the rebounding has a lot to do with it, right? So if you're rebounding the ball, if you're causing turnovers, if you're, finishing plays on the defensive end, it's a lot easier to be random. If you're taking the ball out of the net and you're walking the ball to the floor, you are going to be more of a set play team. We have fallen into periods during games where we slow down, become a little bit more isolation oriented than I want us to be, and we kind of talked about that today, as far as getting to our driving kick game, getting to our movement, and using simple actions to do so. But it is somewhat connected to our rebounding. We have to, if we're able to rebound the ball, then we can play fast, then we can play a little bit more random and get the ball from side to side and get the next action on the floor. But if we're not doing that, then it's up to us to get the ball out of the net quickly and take the ball out and get it up the floor without taking too much time to like pout or get be mad about the last play. We got to be a next play mentality group. And when you are that helps you get to like more actions and not slowing down, because we are at our best when we're playing faster than we are slower.
We'll take two
Thank
more. Jonathan Fagan.
Just going back to that back-to-back question, is there a plan for this back-to-back the next couple days?
Yeah, we're still kind of working it out. I mean, Victor obviously is coming back off that foot injury. John participated today in the limited practice that we had, but he's getting treatment after he got landed on last night. So I don't have a real update as far as which guy is going to play which game, or if one or both will play both or not, I gotta actually, after I leave here, get with those guys and figure it out. We've had some early conversations, but we haven't actually cemented what the plan is going to be.
Okay, so there is a possibility that both play both, as opposed to what has been, but that's to be determined.
That's to be determined. I wouldn't say that both will play both.
Thank you.
Last question, Adam Spolling.
Are there any other injury issues going into tomorrow?
No, I don't believe so. We don't have any people on the injury report, I don't believe. So today, everybody was there and accounted for, and we had a good day today. We had a really good day, actually. We watched some film. We got better organized on the offensive end, and they got some shots up and they got out of here. So with the back-to-back coming up, we have to make sure that we are attentive to their bodies and the rest and have their best for the games, but we also have to make sure that they're getting better and learning and all of those things. And that's why we had a lengthy film session today.
Thank you, Coach.